Hi, Gregory.
Hello, Sharmily.
Thank you for making time available this morning and welcoming us to your lovely Gateway Family Services Katoomba office.
Thank you. It's good you're here. Thank you.
Lovely to be here. I'd also like to acknowledge that we are on both Darug and Gandagara land. What is Gateway Family Services' strategic focus in the next 3 to 5 years?
Despite what we might hear, we're not a very child-friendly society still. And so for me, I think to make our services child-friendly, family-friendly, and parenting relevant is something that I think we would be focusing on. So not to innovate in terms of creating necessarily new things, although we are doing that, but to do those things really, really well. And we've got a very professional, passionate staff team here at Gateway who drive that focus all the time.
You've been Gateway, different team members have been a participant of the community of practice that we facilitate to bring together consistency in policies, practices and standards across the sector and community services. What would you like to share about that? Are there any key things that you've got from attending those workshops?
For me, it was the fact that Lead, which is located in Seven Hills, was prepared to put on a workshop in Springwood that we could, like local services could attend. That was gold, and just having the idea of a community of practice, I think, is again gold, because you can bring all that experience and knowledge together. And what Lead was doing was saying, well, this is the contemporary approach, this is what we figure is the most up to date. And the rest of us would go, oh yeah, we need to kind of catch up a little bit there. Yeah. So it was influential in terms of, especially in terms of our policy suite. It was very influential.
Organisations Lead and Gateway Family Services, we work very closely and collaboratively, and Gateway is a member of Lead for many years now.
Yeah.
What do you think are the benefits that Gateway has had over the years gained from being a member of Lead?
There's any amount of training out there for the family and child parenting sector. It's generally beyond our capacity as a non-government organisation to fund that. And so Lead, for many years has always been a leader in terms of providing accessible training to the sector, which we need very much so. So that's been a primary benefit, just having an organisation like Lead there, who's able to kind of respond. I remember during COVID. And we had a lot of people in the organisation who struggled with Zoom, and Lead very quickly put together an online facilitation in terms of how to use Zoom and how to use your whiteboard and share screens and things like that, which was just really, really, really good. And what I love about Lead is that if we said that we needed a program that we felt was really important in terms of, as you'll talk to Kathy and Sophie about our child participation strategy. It's like, there's no reason why that can't be rolled out in terms of a program of professional development.
Hey Sophie, it's great to have you here this morning. In fact, I should say thank you for welcoming Team Lead here this morning.
It's really great to have you guys here. Yeah.
Thank you. We were just having a conversation with Gregory, and he mentioned that in the past year or so, Gateway has placed an increased emphasis and focus on children participation in your programs and services. Can you share with us why it is so important for Gateway?
We've always done a lot of work with children. We've always had staff who are really focused on listening to children. It's been the main part of the work we do. Kath's one of our play therapists, and Gus sometimes helps out in the playroom as well. And we know these guys are amazing at listening to children one-on-one, but what we worked out we needed to do was how do we lift those voices up so that children's voices are being listened to in the whole organisation, so that their great ideas, their needs, their thoughts are reflected in the work we do right up to the very top levels. It's not just the mums and dads who get to have a say, it's not just the workers who get to have a say, but that we're really listening and responding to the children.
And so can you just expand on what steps exactly have you taken to incorporate what you've just said in terms of embedding the voice of children and their participation in across your different programs and services?
The very first step, I think, was, and Kath, I'm going to say that you had a lot to do with helping us think this through. Kath does a lot of work in evaluation and lifting up children's voices. And we noticed that maybe some of the kids weren't quite sure what they were doing coming to Gateway, why they were coming. Kath, did you want to talk a little bit about the book that we developed to help kids get used to being at Gateway?
Yeah, we really wanted to, we work really closely with the whole family, and we have a very thorough sort of intakey type of time where we get to know the families, the parents, and often the children aren't involved in that little part while we're getting to know the family. So we wanted to be able to ensure the children felt that they were very much central to everything, and that they often had never been here before. So we had devised this little book that sort of introduced them to what is Gateway, why do people come, and have it very visual so they can see the place before they even get here. So it's like a little step. And then what happened was we were really surprised that when the children came, that they sort of knew where to go, and they were sort of taking me and the other therapists upstairs because they were so familiar with the place before they even came. So that was really a good step, I think. Yeah.
So I think you were building that sense of belonging even before they actually started here.
Absolutely.
And the power of belonging, every one of us know how important it is. So building that up front, what a great strategy.
The other part of that was that it was so good for the parents to have a little confidence in being able to talk to the children about why they were coming. So that's in their safe place, which is their home. So they could talk about that without strangers being around through the book, because they read the book with the children. And so when they come, they feel much more familiar, they feel more at ease. Yeah, so it worked out really well. We're really excited about it.
Yeah. And lovely Gus here. What's Gus's role in all of this?
Well, Gus is, do you want to talk, Gus? Well, I'm a major part of this place. And I sit up in the room and I get to listen to children and all the different ways they tell us how they're feeling and what's happened to them. And, they play, paint, draw, tell us in all different ways what's going on for them.
Thank you for that, guys. I should have come and a little handshake with you first. Same to you.
So that's the book that you were talking of.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So we worked out that right from the very first moment, kids needed to, once they stepped in the door, know who's around and what they're doing. So you'll see down in our front foyer we've made a beautiful big board with the faces of all the staff. So when children turn up, they get to know who's in the office and what their job is. In the booklet it lets them know that if they need to make a complaint or come up with some good ideas about how Gateway works, they can come and talk to me, and they'll see my photo right at the very front. And there's a lovely little letterbox that they can pop their ideas in.
Such a good way of giving them an opportunity to express themselves, isn't it?
Yeah. I think what we wanted was that throughout the whole time they're with us, that they always feel that they're heard and they're getting listened to, and we encourage them to feel like they have an equal part in voicing how they're feeling, what's going on for them through the process, so that even when they come out of the therapy rooms, some of them run to the board and put up little stickers on a board outside the room saying what their experience was. They can communicate to other kids through the board, so that's another part of our opening up more and more communication for the kids to be able to feel like what they say is really important to us, and that we actually really do listen to that and we respond to that. It's not so I think what we really want is for it to feel really and be really genuine for the children, and not, to walk the talk, so that it's not just contrived or put on. It's real.
Sophie, you mentioned about the Children's Advisory Committee, and both Kath and Gus said CAC, right? CAC.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that? I mean, that sounds very formal. A Children's Advisory Committee. How have you incorporated that in a more playful approach?
Yeah, look, we'd done lots of research on how important it is to get children's voices in, and we needed advice from children, and we knew it couldn't be super formal, because how boring would that be? So the counselling team got together, and we invite a bunch of kids who've been part of Gateway in the past, who are familiar with our services, and we have lots of ways for them to share their ideas. Lots of slime. Slime is really popular, so they make slime, they put little Orbeez in the slime. We do that, loosens kids up, it helps them to feel relaxed and make friends. We've had a big graffiti wall. Kids can write up on the graffiti wall what they think. How do you feel when you come to Gateway? What are some ideas that you want to give us? Most of the ideas involve slime. And one of the ideas that we got from, so lots of other art and play type activities, one of the really clear ideas that came out of those committees has been more fun activities for kids. Kids told us they really want to connect with each other and with their therapists, who are so important in their lives.
It just has been fantastic, and what we've found is just children are using all the strengths and capacities they've been building on and using them in these groups, and we've even got to the point now where, it's not the adults just running the groups. So we're starting groups where children are running groups for children. So and I think this is our next exciting part, is that some of the children are getting to the point where they actually really are feeling okay about doing that. So that we're very curious about how that's going to work out.
Guys, I can't stop but ask you this question. Lee does professional development, right? So when are we going to see you in one of our workshops?
What do you think, Gus? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.